I'm here with Loris and Amy Epis from Epis Performance Horses. Welcome.
Thank you,
Thank
Lauren.
you.
How are you?
Thank you for doing this. So let's go back. Let's start with, where this all started. I think, did it start with you, Loris, or did you two start it together? Give us some
Well,
background.
Amy used to be in the horses since young age. I started later on. I was 20 years old the first time I sat on the horse. And I immediately felt something about them. Shortly after, I watched the Derby final, reining final in Italy, and I was hooked with the discipline of reining.
Interesting. And then you started this
I,
in Italy?
I started in Italy as an apprentice,
Yes.
and a few years later, 3-4 years later, I was able to come to Canada to work as an apprentice under trainer Dean Brown. The first time was in Kenora, Ontario, the west side, and a year later I came back here near Hamilton, Waterford, Ontario.
Yes.
Dean was working for Fletcher's Horse World. I became assistant firsthand, and from there I moved up into a position of head trainers.
Wow. And then so did you guys meet shortly after that, or did you?
We met about a year after I was moved into Ontario at a horse show.
At a quarter horse show. I was showing Pleasure. And of course, the reining is the last class of the day on the Ontario circuit. And my girlfriend said, "You got to go see Fletcher's new trainer." And I said, "Why is that?" And she said, "Well, he's this cute little Italian." And I'm like, "Okay." And so from there, I met him and I said hello, and the only thing he could say was hi and okay.
For about a year and a half, it was all okay to everything. I don't really know what people said to me, but it was okay.
Yeah.
The perfect boyfriend and husband. Just
yeah.
say okay.
Yeah,
It
just
was
say
always
okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So from there, you guys obviously got together, and you're married, and you have 4 children.
We do, yeah,
You
and
have a busy place.
a busy place, but that's how we like it. That's how we like it. We thrive off of the constant evolution of our business and our family, which is to me the horses as a whole and the NRHA that we engulf ourselves into is a lifestyle.
Right.
And we're really, really proud to be part of it. And the RHA is a division of the NRHA, and we compete in it happily, and then we go for the big stuff if we have the horse that year and the client, and we're more than willing and able to go and play with the big boys, and we like to give it a shot because it's fair game sometimes, because there is a little bit of luck involved in there too.
So the big stuff is predominantly in the States?
It is.
Predominantly in the States. Quebec is a very good program right
Absolutely.
now, so competition is really good.
Absolutely.
The shows are really good. Most likely, yes, definitely Oklahoma Futurities and Derby. Congress, still a big show for us.
Yes.
Not too far from here.
No.
So these ones are shows that actually are planned for later on this season with our futurity horses.
Yes.
And again, like Amy said, Ontario shows. That's where I coach also all of my non-pros, beginner riders, rookie riders, which they're doing extremely well this year.
Yay.
We're leading all the divisions.
Yes.
All the divisions?
All the division that my non-pros and that I coach, they're in, and they have horses with me, obviously. We're at the top, either
Yeah.
first or second in the divisions.
Yeah.
The championship's
Absolutely,
still going, so we have a few more shows.
We still got to run.
To
Still
seal
got to
the
keep
deal.
going.
But
Well, one has sealed it already. Jana has already sealed it, and I'm in first, and our other non-pros in first, and so we're
Wow,
got to keep
that's
going.
Impressive.
Yeah, I mean it's
What
it's
division
good.
are you in?
I'm in the novice non-pro level 2, which goes by money for the horse.
Okay.
So my horse isn't eligible for level 1 because someone's put a whack of money on him, so he's kicked me out of
a few years
that.
ago,
So for me, this is my first time back into the reining pen in 22 years. I was 13, and
Wow.
this year it's just the way things kind of fell into my lap with getting the horse this year, and kind of pushing myself to get back into the pen. I've always been on the sidelines, but we've kind of put some babies in that order of the years. So ourselves, children. So for us, it's this is a really, really cool situation to be in, that he's on the sidelines coaching me, and as well as the others. And everybody has a class. We're not all in the same class. We're all in different divisions, and it's really, really awesome to see that we're all excelling where we fall.
Yeah,
you know.
That's great. That's
So
great.
I think our coach is doing well.
The coach is doing well.
I hope so.
And what about yourself, Loris? Where are you sitting?
This year, I'm focusing a lot on my 3-year-olds, futurity
Yes.
horses, and we just started our first show. Was a couple of weeks ago in Quebec. It was a pre-futurity. That's usually where we test the horses. Of course, we want to go there and do well right away, possibly win. But it's called pre-futurity for a reason. You know, you start to figure it out, what the horses feel like showing for the first time, what could we work on to do better. The horses that I show perform extremely well. I was extremely happy. I had a couple of bubbles on a young horse that I didn't quite expect, nothing that it was either their fault or mine, just consequences of little bad luck in a couple of maneuvers. We still made money, so we placed, so that was really good. But I'm focusing on 3-year-old. Our next show for 3-year-olds is going to be in next weekend here in Ontario. It's a
Big futurity.
pretty big futurity. After that, we're back to Quebec in 2 weeks, and it keeps going almost once a month. We have a futurity leading up to Congress futurity, which is going to be the biggest test coming up, and getting ready for Oklahoma futurity, which, as everybody knows, it's the biggest futurity that there is on the planet. So that's where I'm focusing in the most this year.
Yeah.
I have sets of very nice 3-year-olds that I believe they can do extremely well for me.
Yeah.
Really a good fit for my program and for what they are. So let's get started and see if we can deliver.
Good. So how many horses are you riding a day, or how many are here?
Well, we have many on the property. We have a couple of yearlings that we're raising for a client, a few non-pro horses, like I said before. 5 3-year-olds at the moment. 3 are for myself. You can show a top of 3 horses per futurity as a rider. So 3 are for myself. The other 2 are non-pro horses, so they will actually compete as well in Oklahoma. So it's going to be exciting. It's the second time for me coaching a non-pro down in Oklahoma futurity. It doesn't happen quite often from Ontario. Usually it's myself going. I'm really excited to do so. And the rest are non-pro horses, like I said. Some are the 2-year-olds that we start off our program. I have help on the farm. Obviously, Amy works alongside with me. We have Sarah that helps us out with the chores and everything else that we need around the farm, stacking up, putting away, and make sure I have all the horses ready and in line to get to work.
Yeah, that's what a good team is all about.
Definitely, it has to be a solid program based with your team members that actually believe in your program in order for them to put the effort in to be part of the team.
Right.
You know, and I think we found a pretty good match as far as owners, riders, workers, that all are on the same page from start to finish.
So in that program, I guess feed has to fall into that program.
Absolutely.
100%.
100%. 100%. I mean, you got to fuel the horses, and the part of his program is adjusting to what the horse's goals are. And then we also look at your feed to complement what their goals will be. And the reason why I'm saying that is the work program that they'll fall into will also help me gauge how much or how little to feed them.
Right.
Or what supplements also.
Right, because I know it's a challenge sometimes with some of these quarter horses being a little bit on the easy keeping side.
Yes.
But always having that right amount of energy.
Yes.
That you need to do what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
With the discipline that we do, and there's a lot of fast part into our patterns and slow parts. You know, we expect really fast spins and then just stands right in center of the arena, nice and quiet. So we definitely need a feed that doesn't go to their head too much, and we need enough energy that we can push to go and seek for those big scores and those big maneuvers.
Yes.
And I find with Brooks that's what I find the most, that the horses stay focused through their training session. I don't find them hot even on a Monday, and I say on a Monday since they usually have either Sunday off or Saturday, Sunday off, or I'm at the show. So Monday usually is the most critical day. The horses are a little bit more fresh. By Thursday or Friday, they're getting more used to it, to the routine, and I feel like I can start on a Monday with the horse that is focused on performing right away, and I have enough energy to keep moving along, like I said, and search for those maneuvers and make sure they stay clean through those maneuvers. My personal goal, obviously, is to keep competing at the big level. United States, like I said, Oklahoma, Futurity and Derby, NRBC, all the major events, and keep moving up the ladder. We made the final in Oklahoma a few times.
Yeah.
It's been a blast. In the last couple of years, we didn't have the horsepower to perform down in Oklahoma. I feel like this year we're sitting pretty good, so I just want to keep moving up the rank of the trainers and keep doing what I love. And for Ontario, obviously, I wish to all my clients to keep learning, keep moving up as well in their division, and keep doing reining.
Loris, I understand you have a big achievement that you really didn't speak about, so it just shows to your humbleness of what type of person you are. But Amy just brought it to my attention, or our attention. Let's talk about what this is.
Well, 2011, we were a reserve level 2 and 1 NRHA Futurity champion. I was riding Resting Wiz, 3-year-old mare owned by John and Sharon Fletcher. She definitely took me where I needed to be as a rider, as a trainer, for confidence and as an authority in the reining world. The following year, so only a few months later,
As a 4-year-old.
as a 4-year-old, we went back to the NRHA Derby and we were reserve in the level 3. So we stepped it up a notch.
Yeah.
And this mare always performed to the top for me and went on to do great things after later on. So definitely I would say making those big finals and place as a reserve champion was probably the biggest achievement of my career so far.
And what
Yeah.
impressed me was how many people did you compete
For
against?
Futurity, you're looking about 550 to 600 entries, and we were able to be at the top for my level at the time. And Derby is a little smaller, not by much, so
by
still it's one of the top 3 shows in the world,
Yes.
and in Oklahoma City as well again. So
Wow. So that is very impressive. I'm
very,
glad we
I was very fortunate to have a horse that took me where I needed to be at the time, and
That's
searching
great.
for that again.
Yeah.
And we actually have her first baby in the barn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
One of my 3-year-olds is our
Yes.
first colt, so that's pretty exciting for the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
So there's could be your future.
Could be.
It could
could
be.
be. You never know.
It could be. It could be. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank
we
you,
needed to
Laura.
hear that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And isn't it crazy what time we do? And take a beautiful thing, rust away its youth. And I spent 8 hours a day standing in the same spot my whole life, waiting for you, waiting for you. Here I am, airport parking lot, watching jumbo jets taking off. Seems like shed a cloud of pain. Oh, the baby is tied to her breast, and then rest. Now passed by this spot just yesterday, and I swear he walks this cold religiously, and just trying to make enough to get by, barely fast enough to survive, or to stay alive on the streets of Dublin.
Thank you.